Saddam Hussein, who held power in Iraq for 24 years, had 5 children, 2 of whom were very well known. His 2 eldest sons, Uday and Hussein. Saddam lived a completely luxurious life, and his children also had access to the best resources, especially Uday, his eldest son. In this program, we will look into Uday's life. Uday Hussein did not have good mental health. People around him later said he had sadism. You know what sadism is? A mental disorder where a person enjoys others' suffering. From childhood, Uday believed he was his father's successor, which gave him immense confidence. A sadistic person with power and confidence becomes an extremely dangerous being, so much so that people around him feared him. They were even afraid to talk about him in private, saying, "He'll find out and kill us." He was also very hedonistic, throwing grand parties for any reason. These weren't ordinary parties. They were terrifying gatherings where young women were forcibly invited. Saying no wasn't an option. These parties included all kinds of drugs and alcohol. Uday was also passionate about football to the point of betting on Iraqi teams. When the team he bet on lost, he would send his men to bring the player responsible for the loss. For instance, if someone missed a penalty, Uday would personally torture that player. At the age of 19, Uday was admitted to Baghdad University in the mechanical engineering program, supposedly the best in Iraq. However, he never attended a single class. After 4 years, he still received his mechanical engineering degree. Those close to him said Uday wasn't stupid but rather highly intelligent and sharp, which made people fear him even more. During Saddam's rule, Iraq faced numerous sanctions, and Uday was tasked with circumventing these sanctions to smuggle in the country's essential needs. He excelled at this task while also managing his own trade. Uday imported every type of recreational equipment, mostly for his own pleasure. For instance, in a short time, he imported 550 luxury supercars, including the famous Ferrari F40, which even today costs $3 million. When the Americans entered Iraq, Uday ordered all these cars burned to prevent them from falling into American hands. In 1984, Uday received a new position. Saddam appointed him as the Minister of Sports, giving him control over all Iraqi sports teams. Athletes knew even the smallest mistake in competitions would result in severe consequences, as Uday was merciless. This drove them to win medals wherever they went. This man was Uday's main bodyguard and accompanied him everywhere for years. He later shared how sadistic Uday was and how he enjoyed torturing others, especially those who disobeyed his orders. He said people thought Saddam Hussein was crazy, but compared to Uday, Saddam was a normal person. Even Saddam knew Uday wasn't normal. One of Saddam's close associates and food tasters, Camel Hanna Gigio, would test all of Saddam's food to ensure it wasn't poisoned. At that time, Iraq and Egypt had close relations, and the birthday of Hosni Mubarak's wife was celebrated in Baghdad. Saddam wasn't present, but Camel attended the party. Meanwhile, Saddam had taken a new wife, and Uday was furious at his father for taking another woman besides his mother. At the party, Uday took his anger out on Camel and killed him in front of all the guests. He immediately fled to Jordan. Saddam was enraged but told his son, "Come back, I won't harm you. You just have to spend a year in prison." Uday returned to Iraq and went to a special prison. After a few months, he was pardoned and sent to serve at the Iraqi embassy in Switzerland. However, when Uday arrived, Swiss authorities demanded that he leave their country immediately. Upon returning to Iraq, Uday resumed his interference in government matters, making Iraqi politicians frustrated and fearful of him. Many prayed for his assassination. For example, on December 12, 1996, while driving his Porsche in Baghdad, an unknown car ambushed him, opening fire. Uday's Porsche saved him as he sped to the hospital despite being hit by 7 bullets. He walked into the hospital on his own, and doctors operated to remove the bullets. 1 bullet had lodged near his spinal cord, leaving him reliant on a cane afterward. Seeing his condition, Saddam delegated more responsibilities to Qusay, Uday's younger brother. Uday wasn't upset because he was very close to Qusay, and many said Qusay was the only person Uday genuinely cared about. With less responsibility, Uday spent more time indulging in debauchery, holding extravagant parties. He invited Eastern European women, including Polish, Ukrainian, and Russian guests, to attend these gatherings. However, many of them later reported being assaulted by Uday, earning him the title of Sadistic Rapist. His bodyguard revealed that Uday tested those he wanted to befriend by giving them a special drink, an enormous glass of whiskey, vodka, cognac, and brandy mixed with beer. They had to drink it all. There was no refusal. For women, he had a separate drink with 90% alcohol content, which would leave them completely intoxicated. If you've seen the film The House of Saddam, there's a scene where Uday kills a guest at a party. It was well known that Saddam issued orders to torture his opponents, and Uday played a significant role in these tortures. He would be thrilled when Saddam ordered someone tortured and took on the mission himself, finding immense pleasure in it. When Saddam's regime collapsed, those close to Uday documented his horrifying behavior, revealing the extent of his cruelty. In 2003, when American forces entered Iraq, Saddam and his family went into hiding, with Uday and Qusay taking refuge in Mosul. Uday was so despised by Iraqis that someone quickly informed the Americans of their whereabouts. The Americans surrounded the house and bombarded it, killing both brothers. This marked a major blow to Saddam, who was captured 5 months later and later executed.